Okay, tonight we are going to work on what I call the fence flap bag. It's like a hip bag or a phone bag. Has a pocket on the back if you want. Open it, has a zipper. It's fully lined. Okay, so we are going to do the 9x7 size, and I have my poly mesh, no-show poly mesh stabilizer hooped, and I'll send it over for the placement stitch. Okay, so we have the placement stitch stitched out. You're going to ignore this line and this line. That was my error. Okay, so we are going to cover the center with batting, because with the batting it gives it a little more 3D effect. I like the batting. You don't have to, but I am. So now I'll go tack the batting down. Okay, it's tacked the batting down, and now I'm going to trim it around the edges, as such. Okay, once you've trimmed your edges, once you've trimmed the edges, you're going to cover it with your fabric. This is, I believe, Diamond Dust from Double H Vinyl, and we're going to be using the Buffalo Plaid, black and white Buffalo Plaid from Double H Vinyl as well. That's doublehvinyl.com if you're interested. Okay, now I'm going to go tack down this, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's tacked it down, and now I'm going to go around and I'm going to trim this as well. And the edges of this are going to be covered with the outside flat vinyl. So, you know, you want it somewhat neat. You don't want it all crazy, but it doesn't have to be right up against it either, okay? All right, so now that's trimmed. It will do the fence design on the square. Okay, so it's stitched the design. Now we are going to cover the design with our vinyl that we want to use for the outer edge. And once again, this is the black and white Buffalo Plaid from Double H Vinyl. It's beautiful, it really is. Be right back. It's going to do a tack down. Okay, it's tacked it down. Now I'm going to carefully trim the inside of my flap. Okay, as you see, I've trimmed the inside of my my flap, and now it's going to go out and do some other stitches here. Be right back. Okay, it's put a nice triple stitch all around here, not at the edge though, because we are going to turn our hoop over, and we are going to put our vinyl for the back on it and tape it in place. Let's not waste too much of this, okay? Tape it in place and then send it over the machine to do the final stitch. Okay, so it's tacked it all down, and I'm going to remove the tape, take it out of the hoop, and I'm going to trim it around, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I've got it all trimmed around, and now I am going to put the snap in now. I was going to change to some magnetic ones, but I didn't get out today, so I use tweezers, long tweezers, to go down inside the bag. I've marked where I want my thing to be, and I'm going to push it through right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put the top of my thing, because if you know me, I've forgotten to put these in twice now, and that doesn't work out so nice when you forget. Okay, so there. Now I've got my snap on, and now I'll go to work on the base. Okay, I got my no-show poly mesh stabilizer hoop and going over to the machine. Okay, we have our placement stitch stitched, and now we're going to tape our zipper between these two lines, the second and third line. Center it evenly. If your zipper's narrower, make sure it's still centered regardless. If it's fatter, once again, make sure it's still centered. If not between, over. Okay, take it down, and I'll go tack that down. Okay, it's tacked down the zipper, and it's also did a placement stitch for the bottom bag batting. Okay, so I'm going to put my batting down and then go tack it down. Okay, it's tacked the batting down. I'm going to go around, trim it. Okay, I've got it all trimmed. It's going to do a placement stitch for my bag front fabric. Okay, it's did the placement stitch. Not that you can see it because it's black. Now I'm going to take my fabric for my bottom, and I'm going to turn it upside down and line it up with the bottom of the zipper. I'm going to tape it in place because I do not want it to move. Then I'm going to send it over to the machine to do a tack down, okay? Okay, let's do the tack down. I'm going to remove these tapes. Now I'm going to neatly and evenly press this so it's lined up nice and neat with the zipper. Then I'm going to repurpose this tape and tape this down so it doesn't move and send it over to the machine and tack it down. Okay, did the stitch. Look how nice that looks. And it also did the placement stitch for the top part of the bag. And you are going to take this piece of fabric, put it face down, line it up with the top part of the zipper here, and tape it in place. And it's going to do a tack down, and then we're going to fold it up like we did the bottom. Darn it, tape isn't going to work. All right, so I got it taped in place, and now I'll send it over to the machine. Okay, it's tacked it down, so now we're going to remove this tape and this piece of tape, and we are going to fold this up neatly and make sure it's neatly even with the across the zipper all the way, and it's going to do the fence quilt design on the top here. Okay, be right back. Okay, it's all stitched down. Now we're going to turn it over, and we are going to put our lining. And you start with the bottom first, and with your 1/2 inch folded under, here's the zipper stitch. You are going to go just above that, and you want to make sure your lining's at least 1/2 inch over each side and 1 inch at the bottom. Tape this in place and send over the machine to do a tack down. Okay, so it's tacked our lining on the bottom down. So now we're going to take our other piece of lining top part with a 1/2 inch fold under. We are going to place it just below that zipper line, just like so. Tape it in place and send it over the machine to tack it down. Okay, it's did the lining. And now it's going to do a placement stitch for the flap. Okay, it's did the placement stitch. There's a little teeny line there and a tiny line there. And right now, while I think of it, I am going to open my zipper. Once the flap's there, I kind of like don't remember. Okay, so I got my zipper, my zipper open. And now I will take my flap and I will line it up right between those two lines, just like so. Make sure this stitch, top stitch, is above that line so it closes. Last chance to make sure you have your snap inside, otherwise it's going to have to show on the outside. Okay, I've taped it in place, and now I'm going to send it over to the machine to tack it down. Okay, stitched it down, and it also did the placement stitches for the purse strap tabs. As this one is a 9x7, I am going to do 2 tabs, one on each side to hold an actual purse strap. Okay, I have both my tabs taped down, and I have my hardware taped as well. Now I'll tack it down. Okay, now we're coming to the near end of it. So last chance to open the zipper. Really, it is now. So if you want a pocket on the back of your bag like this, now you would put it down. You would take your fabric face down and line it up. It has to be below that line. I usually line mine up with the zipper, you know, somewhere right around the zipper. And then you want to tape it in place because you do not want it to move once it starts sewing, okay? You don't want it to move. I'm going to try to put this over a little bit so I don't waste so much vinyl. I am a waster. It's horrible. Okay. Now, on top of that, I will put the back fabric. Okay, here's my back fabric, or vinyl fabric, actually, I think, sort of. I'm going to cover this up and send it over to the machine to tack it down. Okay, it's tacked it all down. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to tape my other piece of lining face down over the back here, and then do the final stitch. Okay, it's tacked it all down. The lining's all there. So now I'm going to take off the tape and take it out of the hoop and trim it up. Okay, and we know we fold the lining back and then we trim the underneath. Okay, do not cut the lining on the bottom that's open where we're going to flip our bag. I think I need new scissors. And these bits right here are always good to keep for the tabs, you know, tabs and maybe key fobs and stuff. So let's cut these at an angle like I always do, like that. And here, trim my corners. Trim this corner. All right, and now we are going to turn it right side out from in there, okay? Okay, I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to push my corners out the way they should be. Make sure all the corners are nice and flatten my bag. Then you tuck your linings in, and then you'll seal that with tape or glue or hand stitch it. Okay, I use glue. All right, I'm going to glue this and put some Wonder Clips on it and be right back. Okay, while that sets, this is when I open my zipper area. Clean all this stabilizer out there. Just clean it up, and that's where we'll flip the bag again, right side out. Okay, once you've gotten that all trimmed out, cut out, reach in and open your zipper the rest of the way, okay? Try to open your zipper the rest of the way. There we go. Okay, and now if you want to pull your flap out, you can, and turn those parts right side out. There and there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Wonder Clips off. Okay, I took my Wonder Clips off, and now I'm going to turn it right side out between the pocket and the pattern area. Okay, so just my hand in there. Get it all nice and pushed out in the corners, and then I'll use my paintbrush to get it all flat. Okay, once you have it all right side out, there's in your bag. It goes like this, and here's the back. I'll put a snap up here, and I'll put a snap down here. What I'll do is close this. Make sure everything's nice and flat there. And mark where my mark where my other snap goes. Now I'll put those on.